Welcome, music people. Lorenzo here. Um, I was just thinking about this whole improv thing, and I think I'm always the type of guy who likes to define things, right? So we know we're talking about the same thing because you can have a conversation about, well, what we're talking about, improvisation, but we might not particularly agree upon what improvisation is. So I want to just take a few minutes out here to define it. In my opinion, is what I mean. I'm not the end all to be all. This is just my opinion. You're entitled to yours. Yours opinion is just as important as mine. But I like to share my opinions to get ideas, and hopefully, in your comments, you'll share your opinion. I think improvisation at its highest level are the things that you create in the moment, right? You're not necessarily, well, I've heard it described as the music flowing through you, right? You have an idea that comes to your mind and that you're able to execute it flawlessly, and it's not anything that you've ever played before. It's something that you just came across your imagination in that moment. That's what I like to call organic composition in real time. Probably my favorite guy that does that's probably Sonny Rollins, but that's a whole, everybody has their favorite. Number two thing that I think improvisation is mistakes, right? Because everybody makes them, right? Even the masters, you can hear them try to get a phrase out, they change the phrase, and then they play the phrase that they really want to play. If you listen to the recordings, you hear that a lot. Mistakes are going to be made, and how you get out of mistakes, or how you springboard off of the mistake that you just made, because you know where you are in the form is important, right? So mistakes are going to be made. It's part of improvising. Now, the third part is things that you know, right? Can be theoretical. They could be like substitutions or rhythms, simple things like tension and release, or resolution, or anything that you know that helps you to. It could be simple thing like a scale. Things these are tools, things that you know, right? They help you improvise, right? It's what makes up improvisation, I think. But the most important thing to me, in my opinion, right, is vocabulary, right? Like words or phrases that you have that you use to speak over the chords, right? You got to know some things, some vocabulary. And, I think it's probably the most essential thing for a beginning improviser, because most improvisers that are struggling do not have a vocabulary. They want to go to number one instantly. They want to improvise in the moment organically, but they never develop a vocabulary. And that's most of the time why they're failing. Yes, they need to know some things, but and everybody makes mistakes. But I find out the reason that I was failing is because I didn't have a vocabulary. But that's changed because I have developed my own system about how to develop a personal jazz vocabulary. So I hope that we can agree on something or some parts of what improvisation is. And hopefully down the road, I'll get to share how I have come up with making my own personal jazz vocabulary. Have a good one.